The Proteas have a bit of a busy month coming in June. Firstly, it's the World Test Championship final that they're playing against the Australians starting on the 11th of June. That's going to be happening in England at Lord's. Eyes on that as South Africa chased their first ICC trophy since 1998. But then after that, from the 28th of June, they will be traveling to Zimbabwe. And what we will see is a team with brand new faces. And so what I want us to do in this video is to go through some of these new faces. We see some returns. Zubayr Hamza comes back to the side, and he had a great season in the 4-day series, scoring 550s and a century in the final game versus the Titans, and an incredible 103. The way he was batting, he could have scored 200 that day, but just lost his wicket because I was there watching that. So Zubayr Hamza has made himself back into the game. Lungi is coming back as well. But the 5 new faces that we need to talk about: Dewald Brevis, Lesego Senokwane, Prenelan Subrayen, Cody Yusuf, and Lhuan-Dre Pretorius, all being called up for the squads for that test tour. So let's talk about these 5 players, whom some you might not really know. Everyone who knows Dewald Brevis. We all know Dewald Brevis. We've been waiting for him to get called up to the squad, and finally it has happened. But this is at the back of an incredible 4-day series and 1-day series in the domestic championship for his home team, the Titans. He was the 1-day player of the tournament for the Titans, but he was the second highest run scorer for the 4-day series this year with 573 runs at an average of 47. That average could have been much higher, but the problem is he keeps on losing his wicket. But there's a reason why, because he has the highest strike rate amongst the top run getters, striking the ball at 88. As an incredible strike rate for the 4-day series, striking at 88 at an average of 47. His knocks of 99 versus Western Province, 148 out of 155 balls in a man of the match performance, and 80 from 57 versus Boland. He has what it takes: 200s, 250s. He was there with the best score of 159. So he gets his call up. And you add the fact that he performed so well for CSK in the IPL, averaging 44, 45 somewhere in the IPL, just upped his stock. And now he's going to be traveling to England. It's also upping that stock. And finally, he's made it to the South African team. Second name is his teammate, Lhuan-Dre Pretorius. All of us know this. He shouldn't be a surprise, but maybe the fast track might surprise a lot of people, but after you hear this, maybe not. His SA20 was sensational, top run scorer at just 18 years old. But his first class debut in December was something to savor. Coming in when the team was quite in a bad shape at 87 for 4, he came in and he steadied that ship and eventually scored 120 runs on debut. This was not just that, because his very next match, his very next game versus Western Province, he scores another 100.
Oh, there it is. It is 100 for Lhuan-Dre Pretorius. His second 4-day domestic 100 in as many games. And are we watching the star being born here for the Titans.
103 this time versus Western Province. And you're like, what's wrong with this kid? His third game versus the Northwest Dragons, he scores 58. And you're like, what? But the top of the cream, like the top of everything, was the match in the final versus the Lions. The game was basically done and dusted for the Titans. The Lions took an incredible lead. They followed on. And in the second innings, the Titans were playing to survive. Lhuan-Dre Pretorius batted for 5.5 hours. 5.5 hours, and he scored 114 from 209 deliveries. So many people would have seen his performances in the SA20 and thought that he's just a big bully and he's a T20, a white ball specialist. But when you watch his first class game, it's completely different from his white ball cricket. And it just speaks to the brain that is in that 18-year-old's head. And his cricketing IQ is simply out of this world. So no surprise that he's there. 300s, 150, averaging 72, and he was the player of the year for the Titans. He was the first class player of the year. He was the fans player of the year, and he was newcomer of the year for the Titans. So no surprise that he got called up. Third guy, which might surprise some people who don't follow the game domestically much, is Lesego Senokwane. Those who know and won't be surprised because he's been really good for the past 2 seasons. You'll take a look at his first class career numbers and be like, oh, what is this guy doing in Proteas? What? And then you take a look at his numbers over the season, averaging 55, being amongst the top 5 run getters in the whole tournament for the 4-day series. This could have been an easy switch up between he and Jordan Herman, who too had a sensational season being the top run scorer, but Lesego Senokwane gets the call up. His 280 versus Zimbabwe Emerging, when he was playing for SA Emerging earlier on this year, was brilliant. 280 from 370 odd deliveries. This was at the back of what I would say is the innings of the tournament in the 4-day series when he scored 205 versus the Northwest Dragons. It was an insane innings that basically saved the Knights from losing that game, that 205. Back that with another 100 versus the Dolphins. He ends up with 200s, 250s, and 559 runs at an average of 56, basically. Then we go to the new bowlers, Prenelan Subrayen. Prenelan Subrayen has been under the radar and is one of the players and one of the products of the Dolphin spinners. Senoran Mutusami, Keshav Maharaj, and now Prenelan Subrayen. Prenelan Subrayen was the most used bowler in the tournament. No one bowled more overs and more balls than him, but even still, he was the most economical bowler in the entire tournament, despite him bowling the most deliveries. He took the second most wickets in the entire tournament. It was a switch up between him and Sean van Berg throughout the tournament. Van Berg ending with 35, Subrayen ending with 34. The Dolphin spinner also can wield the bat pretty well. He's 49 versus the Warriors, and now recently scoring 64 versus the West Indies A, and taking a fifer as well. So he has a 10 for in the 4-day series. He has a fifer for South Africa A versus West Indies A just yesterday, a couple of days ago, you can say. So he's in good form, he's in good touch. And 2 seasons ago, his numbers were no different from this. His numbers were almost identical to the numbers that we are seeing now. Most used bowler, he took the second highest number of wickets, he took 2 fifers, and he was the most economical then as well. So South Africa has a player who can hold an end, and on top of that can take wickets as he holds that end. So that's Prenelan Subrayen for you. The last call up. I'm very happy about this call up. Cody Yusuf, bro. Cody Yusuf is a workhorse. Cody Yusuf is the guy you want to have in a 4-day game. I have had the pleasure of watching the Lions every single home game for the past 3 seasons. And to see the leap that he's taken is amazing. He's currently playing at Durham in the County Division 1. And the man's taking wickets, bro. He's taken 17 wickets in the 4 games that he's played. Taking 2 wickets every single innings. 2 wickets plus, 2 wickets plus. And versus the Titans in the finals, he took 4 for 46. The game before that, he had taken 4 for 50 odd. Versus the Western Province, he has a fifer, and his usage is what I'm talking about, because he's the guy who's going to come in over number 40, 50, 60, 70 when the ball is dead, and he's going to hustle in, and he might get you a wicket. Think of Peter Siddle for Australia. That's what Cody Yusuf brings into the team. So you're going to look in his statistics and says, he averages 23, he did this, he did that. Stats sometimes don't tell the full story. And Cody Yusuf is one of those guys. Highest usage bowler, can run in all day, and he takes wickets and he gets the call up. Cody Yusuf, can click 140 kilometers an hour as well. You saw it yourself in the SA20. And also, Lions Player of the Season, Bowler of the Season for the Lions, 4-day series Player of the Season for the Lions. He just did everything for the Lions. He was their Player of the Season, their best player, and he gets the rightful call-up to the Proteas. So those are the 5 players who got their new call-ups to play for South Africa. Hopefully, I shed some light on who they are, what they do, and their roles in the game. But yeah, let me know in the comments who are you excited to see. See you in the next one.